Hello guys, it's only PvP Cat, and in this video I'm gonna test and review LeMat REVOLVER. This pretty expensive but very good weapon. Some general information first before we go to the testing. So LeMat REVOLVER costs $317, which makes it the most expensive revolver. Also it has 9 bullets, it's pretty much for a revolver, and it has a shotgun for one shot. Also, damage of this weapon is pretty solid. It's not super fast but pretty accurate from my test and personal experience. But the most important thing, this revolver looks super cool. Therefore I bought 2 of these bad guys the moment they were introduced to the game, and I made one full black and second full silver and call them Beam and Bomb because of the famous Soviet clowns Beam and Bomb that you probably never heard of and hopefully never will again. So let's begin some testing, and in this test I'm not gonna only test this LeMat revolver but also will compare it to the other heavy but slow revolver, Schofield revolver. I really think that these 2 weapons are pretty similar, so let's see how they do in a test. And test number 1 will be how fast do they shoot, shooting rate, and also reload speed. Let's begin with the LeMat revolver. So we are making 9 shots and it took 0.6 seconds for each shot. And now let's check the reload speed, and it's insane. It took 8.2 seconds to fully reload this weapon. Now let's test Schofield to compare. So it's only 6 shots and it took 0.55 seconds for each shot, but it reloads only in 3 seconds, so it's so much faster in terms of reload. You can see from the test that both weapons are pretty slow, but trick is in the fact that we're not gonna use only one revolver, we have to use them 2 together. So let's test dual LeMat revolvers, and results are really interesting. So it took 5.5 seconds to make 9 shots with one revolver and only 6.7 seconds to make 18 shots. So each shot is pretty fast, I would say. So when you're using dual revolvers, the fact that they are pretty slow is not so important. Now let's make another test and test how much damage these weapons do. So first test: express ammo, Landon's patience, and winning streak for LeMat. From this I would say close to mid range, and we are shooting in the body. Our target has no defensive abilities, so it took 3 shots to kill our target. Same test with the Schofield, and while I'm doing it I'm gonna remind you that weapons are always cleaned in my tests, so it's the same result, 3 shots to kill from this mid-range distance, and that's pretty okay.
Not great, not terrible.
But again, in a real world situation we're gonna use dual revolvers. So now let's test how fast would it take to kill someone with shooting to the body. And it took only 1.6 seconds to kill with body shots, despite the fact that I hit only 3 out of my 6 initial shots, and that's a pretty solid result, I would say. Now let's test shotgun mode, and since I lost half of the footage I'm gonna tell you results. So from this distance, which is exactly 12 steps, it one-shots to the body, and from the distance that is bigger than that it don't. For example, from 15 steps it literally does no damage, so it's good to know. And before we continue with LeMat revolver review, I want to thank to all of you guys who subscribe to this channel, because now I almost reach 1000 subscribers, and that's a pretty huge number for a channel like this. So thank you guys a lot, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please feel free to do so, because there is a lot of good information and stuff like this. In practical PvP showdowns I'm mostly looking for 3 situations to define whether weapon good or not. First situation is to make a headshot without using painted black, second it's a headshot with painted black, and third one is how effective this weapon when using body shot strategy. And LeMat revolvers did good in all of these situations. It's pretty easy to make a headshot without using painted black because it's pretty accurate weapon, and I believe that hitbox for this weapon is big. I'm not sure and I don't know how to test it, but I really feel that some weapons like Springfield rifle or Litchfield repeater has just bigger hitboxes than others, and that's my theory. In a case of making headshot with using painted black, this weapon is pretty okay too, since it fires pretty fast. Not as good as Mauser pistol or semi-auto pistol, but still okay, and you can do headshot pretty easily. And in a case of making body shots, it's also very good. You can make body shots with using painted black or with a hip fire if the range is close, and in many other situations. And it took only 3 and sometimes even 2 shots to kill your target when using body shots. So it's pretty effective and fast way to do so. To conclude, this weapon not only looks cool but also very effective in different situations. I really believe that that's the best choice from all revolvers and maybe even from all dual-wield weapons, because it's strong and accurate and you're not gonna suffer a lot from its disadvantages such as low reload speed, because 9 bullets in each revolver is more than enough to pretty much never reload. You're gonna die faster. So my final verdict that that's a must-have weapon despite the high price. Anyway, you please write down in the comments your thoughts on this weapon, and thank you for watching. See ya, goodbye.